Hi, AT from CNC at Home. I use these little yellow notepads quite a bit. I just have one sitting on my desk with a pencil, and if I need to work out a problem or write something down, I use that. I recently finished one of those notepads, and what's left over is essentially a chunk of cardboard. It's just over about a millimeter thick, and normally you would just throw that into the recycling. I thought maybe I could make something from it. What could I make from this? Well, this could be the backing for a puzzle, something to do on the laser. But just a plain cardboard piece of paper, cardstock, pretty boring puzzle. So I thought, well, I could etch something on it. That's not very exciting. That's just, one color essentially. It's this gray brownish color plus a darker brown. Not a real big deal. My thought is, what if I glued a picture to this and then cut the puzzle out? That might be kind of cool. So I was searching through some stuff, and I remembered a couple magazines that a friend of mine had given me. He was done with them. He does some flying, and that's something I've been interested in as well. And on the back of that magazine, there's this cool picture of a Cirrus airplane. Hey, turns out it'll be just about exactly the right size for this piece of cardstock. So the intent is to cut that out, glue it onto the cardstock, throw it on the laser, and burn a puzzle. See if it works out. If it does, awesome. That's something to give my friend. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Let's start by cutting out the picture. I'm going to glue it on. We'll throw it on the laser and put a puzzle template on top of that for the burning in light burn. Burn it out and see how that works. Let's see if we can get this aligned with our piece of cardboard. I don't want any of the text, so that's about as low as I'll want to go. And I do want to get some sky in there. So if I go down right above those letters, the plane will be fairly well centered. So we'll do something about like that. So we don't need to use that. Let me use something that works a little better for cutting. Get that squared up with the letters. Do about that. All right. We can make a cut this way. Doesn't need to be real exact, because we'll put this all, we'll get this all glued on here, and then the laser will do all the edges for us. Similar to framing up a picture, you want your horizon about 1/3 of the way up. So if we divide that into thirds, it's about 12.5 millimeters, so 1/3 of that would be 4 plus a little bit. So we'd want our horizon about here. So the next step then will be to get some glue, put that on here, get this adhered, make sure there are no air bubbles. Once that's all glued on, then we can go to the laser and do our cutting. as much as this looks like it worked, it is going to get marked down as a big fail. A couple different things that are an issue. Actually, three main things that are an issue. First, I could not get this thing to ever sit flat. I got this piece of cardboard wet multiple times, put it under a flat surface with a weight, and invariably, once it dried and I removed it, it was still curled just slightly. I did back bend it and I got it to sit almost flat. While I was burning, I did have the clipboard covering the honeycomb as well as another piece of paper, and that was to help keep the suction right where this was to hold it down. And that kind of worked. So that's problem number one. Number two is the glue that I used. Even though I roughed up this side of the image, I mean, this is nice glossy, the glue didn't stick very well. I needed to use a better glue, so that's an issue. And then as we see on this side, issue number three, it didn't cut through all the way. Partially. I was suspecting that it wasn't cutting all the way through, and I actually did 2 passes. I thought that should be plenty to get through. And it did get through in a few spots, but not consistently. So this pretty much is a failed project. I have learned something from it. I need to get better numbers on cutting through the cardstock, or this thicker, I guess it's cardstock. It is thicker than what I had a number for, so I had slowed the movement down a little bit. I should have slowed it down quite a bit more, apparently, to get through that. And also accounting for cutting through the image itself. And I'll need to find a better glue. So that being said, this whole thing is a failure. What I might be able to do, although I probably won't bother, is I could peel this image off from the cardstock, and then I'd have a puzzle with nothing on it. So I had that going for me. Anyway, it's a learning experience. It's what happens when you're experimenting with things. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. If you like the content of our channel, think about subscribing. It really helps us out. Enjoy doing your CNC at home projects.
Oops.